lecture, we will discuss about three topics: osmosis, osmotic pressure, surface tension and viscosity. First of all, we will talk about osmosis and osmotic pressure. Osmosis is basically the process by which a solvent passes from a solution of lower solute concentration to a solution of higher solute concentration when these two solutions are separated from each other by means of membrane which is permeable to the solvent but not permeable to the solute. In simple words, we can say that it's a selective passage of solvent in response to a concentration gradient. It differs from diffusion in that the flow of particle is unidirectional. A membrane which is permeable to the solvent but not to the solute particle is called semi-permeable membrane because it allows solvent to pass but not the solute. There are some natural permeable membranes. Semi-permeable membrane include peritoneal and urinary bladder, and some artificial membranes have been developed called cellophane, colloidal, and gelatinous precipitate of copper ferrocyanate. A common example of osmosis process is explained by an unglazed poultry jar is taken and poured in its wall are coated with precipitate of copper ferrocyanate so as to make it act as a semi-permeable membrane. Some solute dissolved in water is placed in the jar whose mouth is then sealed with a cork through which in a glass tube passes whose mouth is then sealed with a cork. The jar along with the cork and the tube is now placed in a beaker of water. Water will start rising in the tube and after some time it will reach to a maximum level when the equilibrium is reached. The hydrostatic pressure of column of the solution is just sufficient to prevent the entry of more water into the jar. This hydrostatic pressure is produced by the process of osmosis is called osmotic pressure of the solution. The reason for the entry of water into the jar containing solute is usually said to be that the solute particles present in the jar exert a pulling effect on the water surrounding it, but this is not the case. The actual fact is that pure water present in the beaker has more chemical potential than the solute solution inside the jar. In other words, the concentration of water is more outside than inside the jar. If the membrane was permeable to both water and solute, some solute could come out of the jar and establish the equilibrium. But the passage of solute in the above case is not allowed because the membrane is not permeable to solute molecules. Since this membrane is permeable to water, it flows into the jar. Seen in this way, osmosis is brought about by simple diffusion, but only the solvent is allowed to diffuse from a higher solvent concentration to a lower solvent concentration, or in other words, from a lower solute concentration to a higher solute concentration. अब इन सिंपल वर्ड में आपको बताती हूँ कि उन्होंने एक पोल्ट्री जार लिया और उसको अनग्लेज ही रहने दिया, उसे ग्लेज नहीं किया, उसके जो पोर्स थे उन्हें बंद नहीं किया, उसके पोर्स को उन्होंने कोट किया कॉपर फेरोसाइनेट के साथ, ठीक है, जो कि एक सेमी परमिएबल के तौर पे वर्क कर रहा है। फिर उन्होंने उस जार के जो मुंह पर था एक कॉर्क लगाया और उसके साथ एक ट्यूब अटैच कर दी और इन ट्यूब को और जार को जो है उसको उन्होंने प्लेस कर दिया एक वाटर के बीकर में, ठीक है। अब जो बीकर का वाटर था, क्योंकि उस जार के ऊपर जो तो वो फेरोसाइनेट था कोटेड, तो उसमें से वाटर को उसने पास करने अलाउ किया और वो वाटर उसमें से पास होकर ट्यूब में आना शुरू हो गया अनटिल के उसका इक्विलिब्रियम रीच हो गया और हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर जो है वो अचीव हो गया, ठीक है। उस हाइड्रोस्टैटिक प्रेशर को हम कहते हैं ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर, ठीक है, या ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर ऑफ सोल्यूशन। अब होना ये चाहिए था कि अगर वो मेम्ब्रेन परमिएबल होती तो वो सोल्यूट को भी पास करने देती, सॉल्वेंट को भी पास करने देती, लेकिन उसने सिर्फ सॉल्वेंट को पास करने दिया और सोल्यूट जो है वो उस ट्यूब के अंदर नहीं आया, ठीक है। तो वो सेमी परमिएबल मेम्ब्रेन थी जो कि हमने कोट की थी फेरोसाइनेट के साथ। Next, what is osmotic pressure? Osmotic pressure is basically the pressure that would have to be applied to a pure solvent to prevent it from passing into a given solution by osmosis, often used to express the concentration of the solution. The upward movement of water taken place, जो मैंने आपको पीछे एग्जाम्पल दिया है, can be prevented if we apply mechanical force on top of the solution in the jar. The pressure just sufficient to stop the diffusion of water into the pot, or into other words, so to stop osmotic pressure exerted by solution in the jar will be the osmotic pressure exerted by solution present in the jar. The osmotic pressure of a solution may thus be defined as the equivalent of excess pressure which must be applied to the solution in order to prevent the passage of the solvent into it through a semi-permeable membrane separating the two, the solution and the pure solvent. अगर हम upward मूवमेंट से प्रेशर अप्लाई करेंगे और अगर वो प्रेशर जो है वो सॉल्वेंट के से ज़्यादा होगा तो वो प्रिवेंट करेगा पैसेज ऑफ सॉल्वेंट इनटू द थ्रू परमिएबल मेम्ब्रेन. ठीक है, एक एक्सटर्नल प्रेशर अप्लाई करके आप जो है सॉल्वेंट की मूवमेंट को कंट्रोल कर रहे हो. ठीक है, ये है ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर. There are many methods to determine osmotic pressure, but there are two methods which will be discussed here. First one is Pfeffer's method. This is the historical importance. A very simple apparatus in which there is a water beaker, sugar solution, semi-permeable membrane. A battery pot with a semi-permeable membrane is deposited in its wall is cemented to a wide glass tube which end in a thin tube at the top of and carry a manometer on the side. The manometer is closed at its upper end and is filled with silver and nitrogen. The solution under investigation is introduced into the pot through this tube. The apparatus is then made airtight by sealing off the tube at the top. A portion of the pot is immersed in distilled water kept at a constant temperature. In the course of a few days, the manometer registers the maximum pressure, which is the osmotic pressure of solution. The other method is freezing point determination method. It has been found that there is a decrease of 1.86 degrees Celsius in the freezing point of a solution when its osmotic pressure is equal to 1 mole osmol. This method is much more rapid and accurate than Pfeffer's method. A special apparatus is used to determine the freezing point of the solution under investigation, which is then compared with freezing point of pure solvent. The decrease in freezing point of the solution is one of the colligative property of colloidal solution. ये मैंने आपको पीछे बताया है. The other colligative properties is elevation of boiling point and depression of various density can also be used in the determination of osmotic pressure. पीछे जब आपने colloidal solutions पढ़े थे उसमें आपने कुछ properties पढ़ी थी जिसमें freezing point डिक्रीज होता है, boiling point डिक्रीज होता है, vapor pressure डिक्रीज होता है. ठीक है, तो आप इन तीनों में से किसी भी मेथड को यूज़ करके ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर जो है वो डिटर्मिन कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज लॉज ऑफ ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर. दीज आर द सेम लॉज एज गैस लॉज. जैसे आपने बॉयलर्स लॉ पढ़ा था और दूसरे लॉज पढ़े थे गैस के केस में. इन केस ऑफ गैस इज द इक्वेशन टू कैलकुलेट द प्रेशर अंडर गिवन कंडीशन इज pressure is equal to n by v into RT, where n is the number of particle, v is the volume, r is the gas constant that is 0.082 and t is the absolute temperature which we measure in Kelvin. If temperature is kept constant, the pressure is affected by only change in number of particles and the volume. It is obvious that if the number of gas particle is double, keeping the volume unchanged, pressure become double. ऑब्वियसली अगर आप किसी से अगर 10 ml में 5 ग्राम पहले सोल्यूट था और फिर आपने 10 ml में ही 10 डाल दिया है तो प्रेशर जो है जो आपस में पार्टिकल्स हैं उनका इंक्रीज कर जाएगा. द सेम इक्वेशन अप्लाइज टू सोल्यूशन बट द वैल्यू n by v is represented by the symbol c, which is the molar concentration, small c. Equation become osmotic pressure n is equal to CRT. It is apparent from the equation that at any given temperature the osmotic pressure will be dependent upon only the C, that is the molarity of the solution. However, it is known that whereas non-electrolyte like glucose, urea do not undergo ionization. ठीक है, ये स्टेबल रहते हैं, ये ब्रेक डाउन नहीं होता. The electrolyte undergo ionization in solution and their each molecule give rise to two और मोर पार्टिकल देयर, और अगर जो सल्यूट्स जो हैं वो इलेक्ट्रोलाइट जो हैं वो आयोनाइज हो जाते हैं, 2 में डिवाइड हो जाते हैं या 3 में डिवाइड हो जाते हैं, तो फिर उनका जो प्रेशर है वो डिफरेंट हो जाता है। तो उस केस में हम इक्वेशन को मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं विद वेंट हॉफ फैक्टर, जिसको हम रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं स्मॉल आई से, विच इज़ अ मेजर ऑफ एक्सटेंट टू विच सल्यूट डिसोसिएट इनटू 2 और मोर आयोनिक पार्टिकल। फॉर एग्जांपल सोडियम क्लोराइड है, सोडियम क्लोराइड जो है वो सोडियम और क्लोराइड में डिसोसिएट हो जाता है, तो इसका जो आई वैल्यू होगी वो 2 होगी। सोडियम सल्फेट है, कैल्शियम सल्फेट है, सोडियम जो है वो 2 सोडियम और 1 सल्फेट में चेंज हो जाता है, तो इसकी स्मॉल आई वैल्यू जो होगी वो 3 होगी। Based upon the above mentioned discussion, we calculate the osmotic pressure of a molar solution of non-ionizing solution if will equal to ICRT, and its value at 273 degree absolute temperature will be equal to 1 into 0.08, that is the gas constant, R into 273, that is the temperature। क्योंकि जो अनआयोनाइज्ड होगा उसकी वैल्यू 1 होगी, जो आयोनाइज होंगे उनका डिपेंड करेगा कि वो कितने आयंस में डिवाइड हो गए हैं, ठीक है। तो उसकी बेस पे जो है हम ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर जो है वो कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं। So what is the importance of osmotic pressure of plasma proteins? The plasma protein form a colloidal solution and are the chief colloid of the plasma. The osmotic pressure of plasma protein, which is called oncotic pressure, through negligible as compared to that of plasma crystalloid, is the main force which opposes the filtration of excess fluid from the capillaries into the tissue spaces. This is so because the concentration of non-colloids is almost the same in plasma and in the extracellular fluid, and osmotic pressure exerted by non-colloid on the outside and the inside of capillaries are therefore almost balanced by each other. If the concentration of plasma protein decreases markedly, more water leak into the tissue spaces and the pathological condition called edema results. बेसिकली क्या होता है, जो द प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन है वो फॉर्म अ कोलाइडल सॉल्यूशन, ठीक है, और वो चीफ कोलाइड हैं, ठीक है। उनका जो ऑनकोटिक प्रेशर होता है प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन का, वो मेन फोर्स है जो प्लाज्मा को जो है वो ब्लड वेसल्स के अंदर रखती है, ठीक है। अगर प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन की कंसनट्रेशन डिक्रीज कर जाए, जो वाटर को बाइंड करके रखता है प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन्स, वो लीक होना शुरू हो जाएगा टिश्यू स्पेसिस में और वो कोज करेगा एडीमा। तो जो प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन्स हैं उनका ऑस्मोटिक प्रेशर जो है वो इस बैलेंस को मेंटेन रखता है कि वाटर जो है वो लीक आउट ना करे और पैथोलॉजिकल कंडीशंस ना फॉर्म हो। नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज सरफेस टेंशन। Surface tension is basically a tension of the surface film of a liquid caused by attraction of particle in surface layer by the bulk of liquid, which tends to minimize surface area. In simple word we can say liquid जो है वो behave करता है as stretched electric membrane, जो कि resist करता है external force को without rupturing और exert करता है pressure inwards of the rest of the liquid. This force causes a liquid to assume the form of a spherical drop, in which form it has the smallest surface area of given volume. The molecules of a solution are strongly attracted to each other, but only to a very short distance. Molecules seem to be attracted equally to all sides and thus are free to move in any direction. Molecules जो आप देख रहे हैं, जो सेंटर वाली लाइन में थे, जो आप कह सकते हैं अगर ये 4, 8 और 12 मॉलिक्यूल हैं वाटर के, ये जो आपको डायग्राम में नज़र आ रहा है, तो जो नीचे वाली 2 लेयर्स हैं वो 4 साइड से जो हैं उनके ऊपर अट्रैक्शन है, ठीक है। वो 4 तरफ से उनके ऊपर जो है आपस में जो है वो अट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं मॉलिक्यूल्स को, ठीक है, इक्वली, ठीक है। लेकिन जो अपर लेयर पे 4 water molecules हैं, do not have any molecule above them and so tend to be pulled downwards and sideward, and the layer of the surface molecule is thus stretched, ठीक है, क्योंकि ऊपर कोई मॉलिक्यूल प्रेजेंट नहीं है उनको इक्वली स्ट्रेच करने के, ठीक है। तो उनका जो ऊपर वाली सरफेस है वो नीचे हो जाती है थोड़ी सी, ठीक है, थोड़ा डाउनवर्ड हो जाती है, स्ट्रेच्ड, क्योंकि नीचे की तरफ जो है अट्रैक्शन मॉलिक्यूल उसको डाउनवर्ड पुश कर रहे हैं और ऊपर वाली सरफेस पे कोई अवेलेबल नहीं है मॉलिक्यूल के वो उसको अपवर्ड जो है वो अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन में उसको पुल करे। सो जो सरफेस पे लेयर होती है वो स्लाइटली जो है मॉलिक्यूल स्ट्रेच्ड हो जाते हैं डाउनवर्ड। Surface tension is the force or tension required to break this film and is defined as the force in dynes acting upon a line 1 centimeter long on the surface of the liquid. Surface tension is measured as arcs per centimeter or as dynes per centimeter. Soaps determine bile salt and produce reduce the surface tension while salt like sodium chloride increase it. Bile salt, on account of their surface tension lowering property, greatly facilitate the emulsification and digestion of fats in small intestine. क्योंकि जब सरफेस टेंशन इंक्रीज होता है तो सरफेस एरिया डिक्रीज हो जाता है, ठीक है, तो वो इजीली इमल्सिफाई हो जाते हैं। The surface tension is also usually decreased by increase in temperature. Substances lowering the surface tension of a solvent in which they are dissolved become concentrated in surface layer. Substances which increase surface tension are less concentrated in the surface layer than in the bulk of solution. There are two methods to determine surface tension. First is drop method. Drop method is basically when a liquid is allowed to flow very slowly through a capillary tube. ये जो आपको डायग्राम में capillary tube नज़र आ रही है, a drop will form which will increase to a certain size and then fall down. For finding out the surface tension of a liquid relative to that of water, the number of drop produced by a given volume of the two liquid is found out. The apparatus used in this determination consists of a bulb fused with a capillary tube and is called a drop pipette or स्टेलेगोमीटर। ये होल apparatus को हम कहते हैं स्टेलेगोमीटर, जिसमें एक जो है बल्ब होता है और उसके साथ एक कैपिलरी ट्यूब अटैच होती है। Suppose we want to compare the surface tension of some oil with that of water. Water is first sucked up the tube and the drops counted as the meniscus falls from A to B, ठीक है। Then the drop pipette is dried and filled with the oil and the number of drops formed by the same volume as in case of water are counted. The relative surface tension of the oil is given by the following formula: number of drop of water divided by number of drop of oil into specific gravity of oil. It the word mentioning that lower the surface tension, smaller in the size of drop. The other method is using torsion balance or tensiometer, और यहाँ हम इसे Dunois method भी कहते हैं. In this method, a light metal ring is set on the surface of the liquid. When the ring is raised, a film of liquid clings to it. The amount of force required to pull the ring and break the film is measured and give the surface tension. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक वाटर की सरफेस है, जब सरफेस टेंशन प्रोड्यूस होती है तो वाटर जो है स्लाइटली उस रिंग को रेज कर देता है. इट इज़ द सरफेस विच सेपरेट अ लिक्विड फ्रॉम एयर और अदर गैसेज और विच सेपरेट वन लिक्विड फ्रॉम अदर is called interface. Interfacial tension is the same as surface tension and is probably a better term than surface tension. This tension also exists at the boundary between non-miscible liquid, oil and water, you can say. Even in colloidal solution, some interfacial tension exists at boundary of the particle and the liquid phase. When there is no interfacial tension between two liquids, they will be fairly miscible. जो वाटर और ऑयल आपस में मिसिबल नहीं होते वो ड्यू टू इंटरफेशियल टेंशन की वजह से होता है. अगर वो नहीं होगी तो वो आपस में मिक्स हो जाएंगे. द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज विस्कोसिटी. So what is viscosity? It's a quantity expressing the magnitude of internal friction in a fluid as measured by the force per unit area resisting uniform flow. Flowing is one of the characteristic property of all liquid and this property is termed fluidity. Some liquid flow more readily and than others because they have more fluidity. The reciprocal of fluidity is called viscosity, which means the resistance offered by a liquid to flow. This resistance to flow depends on the friction of its component molecule as they flow past one another. Viscosity is believed to result from attraction of molecule from one to another as well as from asymmetry in their structure. विस्कोसिटी बेसिकली जो है वो एक जो प्रेजेंट है मॉलिक्यूल उनकी आपस में अट्रैक्शन की वजह से होती है जो कि रेसिस्ट करती हैं उस लिक्विड के फ्लो को. Thus, water will flow over a glass plate much faster than honey, and therefore water is said to have more fluidity and less viscosity. The rate of flow depends on nature of liquid and the force which produce the flow. For example, the liquid may be through the consist of a number of molecular layers arranged on one another. The displacement of different layers relative to one another is opposed to the internal friction or viscosity of the liquid. The rate of flow of a liquid is inversely proportional to the viscosity. जितनी ज़्यादा viscosity होगी rate of flow कम होगा. Higher the viscosity, lesser will be the flow. The viscosity of fluid is determined by Ostwald viscometer, which consists of a U-tube bearing two bulbs A and B, and in one arm a capillary is placed. The tube is placed vertically in thermostatically controlled bar. Sufficient water is placed in the bulb B to fill the tube to mark X. Water is then sucked at A or blown to Y to a point about 1 centimeter above B. The time for water to fall from mark X to Y is measured. After this, the whole procedure is repeated with the liquid whose viscosity is determined. Basically हम पहले वाटर से करते हैं और उसको रेफरेंस लेते हैं और उसके बाद जिस सोल्यूशन का हमने फाइंड करना होता है उसका सेम प्रोसीजर रिपीट करते हैं. और जो फार्मूला यूज़ करते हैं उसे हम कहते हैं डेंसिटी ऑफ अननोन सोल्यूशन इंटू T2 डिवाइडेड बाई डेंसिटी ऑफ वाटर इंटू T1. Density of water being 1 does not affect calculation and may be omitted in this equation. Next is factor affecting the viscosity. First one is temperature. The viscosity of liquid decreases about 2% with each degree rise in temperature. Next is chemical composition. Viscosity of liquid generally depend upon its size, shape and chemical nature of liquid. अगर विस्कोसिटी ज़्यादा होगी लार्ज मॉलिक्यूल की देन स्मॉलर मॉलिक्यूल और इलोंगेटेड मॉलिक्यूल की देन राउंड मॉलिक्यूल्स. नेक्स्ट इज कोलाइडल प्रेशर पार्टिकल्स. विस्कोसिटी ऑफ लायोफोबिक कोलाइडल सोल्यूशन जो है वो डिफ़र करती है, लेकिन जो लायोफिलिक कोलाइडल सोल्यूशन है उनकी विस्कोसिटी रिलेटिवली हाई होती है. इफेक्ट ऑफ सस्पेंडिंग मटीरियल इंक्रीज विस्कोसिटी इन प्रोपोर्शन टू द वॉल्यूम ऑफ सस्पेंडेड मटीरियल रिलेटिव टू द टोटल वॉल्यूम. जो विस्कोसिटी है ब्लड की वो वेरी करती है फ्रॉम 3 to 4 टाइम्स दैट ऑफ वाटर, और ये लार्जली डिपेंड कर रही होती है लायोफिलिक कोलाइडल सिस्टम की जो कि प्रोटीन्स हैं और ड्यू टू ग्रेट प्रोपोर्शन ऑफ सस्पेंडिंग मॉलिक्यूल जो कि हैं रेड ब्लड सेल. जो रेगुलेशन है इम्पोर्टेंस है regulation of blood flow and blood pressure. The relative viscosity of plasma and serum is 1.4 to 1.8 times of water. When it goes up to between 4 to 7 or in the presence of abnormal protein, the patient develops signs and symptoms resulting directly from the increased viscosity, जिसे हम कहते हैं hyperviscosity syndrome. Although the viscosity of blood is also increased in leukemias and polycythemia, the term hyperviscosity syndrome is reserved for cases in which hyperviscosity of blood is brought about by an increased concentration of plasma proteins IgM and IgG in macroglobulinemia and IgG in myeloma. Serum viscosity may go up to as high as 12 to 15 times that of water. Normally it's 1.4 to 1.8. while normal serum is at the most 1.8 times. कोलेजन डिजीज़ जिसमें हमारे पास रूमेटॉइड आर्थराइटिस और ल्यूपस एरिथेमेटोसस आता है वो भी हाइपरविस्कोसिटी कोज कर सकते हैं प्लाज्मा की बाय इंक्रीजिंग प्लाज्मा लेवल और सर्टेन इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन्स. The common set clinical feature associated with plasma hyperviscosity are related to circulatory impairment and include recurrent bleeding from mucous membrane, from gums, nose, GIT tract, visual disturbances होती हैं, retinopathy, neurological disorders, headache, dizziness, vertigo, fits, hemiplegia, and coma. Congestive cardiac failure may also be seen. The symptoms are thought to be due to in vivo RBC agglutination. In vivo means within the cell. All these symptoms can be readily reversed through temporarily by plasmapheresis. This is the technique in which appropriate amount of blood is removed from the body और प्लाज्मा को सेपरेट किया जाता है आरबीसी से और फिर रीट्रांसफ्यूट किया जाता है. The procedure will decrease the concentration of plasma protein, thus decreasing plasma viscosity. इसके अलावा कुछ ड्रग थेरेपी भी दी जाती है पेशेंट को.